Okay, beta is 1 over 2 over pi. Alpha is 1 over 3 over I. What is the detrimental integral of dx given I? It is 1.4 I times 2 to the negative e plus e squared over u minus do, where do is a variable not, but detrimental det. Det, according to Modi, is do. Detrimental is integral. Anyways, that's it. Now you know some science about cork with carbon-13 analyte, which is an oil I made up known as CNO4, which is gasoline. You need it to burn bursons, which is a burner for dehydrated milk. Once you do that, you add 3-peptide of glyphma lemon leaf extract and pour in 3 garlic cloves. Then drink it. And know if you want to inject it, you have to titrate it for 3.5 years. Then at the end, you get sleepy. You get sleepy and you go, and that's that. Now, as to what I do know about science, it is a myth that marijuana did anything at all to you in soul. Soul is not a chemistry, but a quantable. It is countable in no way, but infinitely large to know it's korkamala, which is not cork at all, because the word cork is dirt in Sanskrit, and korkamala means sand. And that's basically it. There's no words for a lot of the shit you want to know. The word githmagal is the word sand in another language. Doret metra is sand in Sanskrit, not but Israeli Yiddish. And you'd have to say it if you were Moses, because he apparently exists to people. And the being Jesus did in fact die for you, is what they tell you at church. And if I say it wrong, they go, no, you have to pray to him and ask forgiveness. And I think, why the fuck should I? Somebody already did for me. Well, apparently not did, but died. And if you don't ask to forgive yourself for his death, you're wrong. This is now a ranting episode 1. The cork quasar aspect does not exist. It is basically a wormhole to you, but it's actually a black hole, condensed rice. But the word rice is RYCETLDBE to you in no way. But if you knew language like I did, you would go, oh, it's limha. And limha is basically dirt again. Yep. Dirt doesn't do anything but do stuff. To stuff is what you want to say, because it's spun, but nothing actually spins without a Gurkha. And Gurkha is spinning according to Ganesh, and Stephen Hawking went, aha, that is it. And then he pretended to have a brain vision with a top. And you all believed him, and you gave him $1 million. And the truth is, no real science has been done since Albert E. Lee, who's not Einstein, because Einstein wrote force. F equals mc squared, and then changed it to E, and you all blew a top, saying, that's the most miracle I've ever seen. He forced energy to be force, frictive. And not only did he mindfully prove it with a bunch of random bullshit, you all fed it to children like me. And I know for a fact E equals mc squared is just a frictive force. It's not actually energy. Energy is pi over phi minus 2 gamma ritma, which is integral again to Sanskrit, not to Yiddish, plus 2 over 1 minus 3 Keppa, which is Capricorn, Zetma, which is Gilma, and Gamma Du. Then you div that into 3.14 or phi times pi over 2 minus 3 times pi squared into an infinite number of ways until you reach pi again, because you're like, Sanskrit said that the demon had a bunch of stuff that made space-time exist, and the space-time has to exist as he wrote it. And the truth is, I think we're all crazy when it comes to science. Science is not done in a miraplex, but a way through myth and legend. Since Einstein, because we forgot what the fuck we were trying to study, and people were like, can we blow a hole in space-time? And they're like, according to the Vedic, which may be real, is true. And no, Jesus did not exist. Lord Shiva did not exist. Buddha did not exist. According to Sanskrit, it was a myth legend wrote to a miraculith. And the past epics were used to terraform, meaning destroy culture. And that's still what they do. That's still what they are, and that's still why they're used. We do it now as cultural exchange openly to say we will inerrantly know you, to you, innately through you, so that we encompass the morale of you, I know child are for molestation in Europe, and people of Japan do not. And that is the weird kinky thing about Europeans, is they want a tiny tot to suck them off. And that is where halflings came from in the 3rd century BC. When Germany raided France, they taught children to nut. And NUTS are what they are called now, and monk. And the legend known as Arthur is a rapist slur. In fact, everybody in the past either raped or pillaged in war, as they did under Bush Jr., Sr., and II, which II was basically grandfather to them, but they didn't do Jr. then because they're like, fuck you, we don't do that now. And apparently now it's done as Sir with the first Gatermith, or General to the Gendermith of Generation 4 to you. It's kind of retarded. A lot of things about culture are just really dumb. And science is pretty stupid. So far we've invented one thing, force, and Kepler. But Kepler's a reamer we don't understand beyond beta. And Kepler kind of said nothing because it's a star doing radio transfer to a signal beyond us. And we're kind of interfering in the signal. But it's actually Celeste. And Celeste is the planet they know it as. And they go by Dingal. And you can prove this in a book if you went there and read the language they know that's not Sanskrit at all, but Gitma. And you'd have to build a ship big enough to go there, and you don't know a way to, and you won't know a way to with E equals MC squared, F equals MC squared, or 2. The number 2 is TAU in U, and TAU apparently does all volume matrix right now, but the truth is, nothing beyond Reamer 1 of multiplication is applied to all general theory of relativity as of now. You need subdivide and minus to do it, but at the end, gamma radiation, according to Hawking, is just a sigma notation into infinite, meaning everyone here is boiling to death.